Okay, awesome. I'm so excited for another monthly team call. And again, like last month, Andrea Mitchell, our Diamond Line, is doing this call with us. I'm super excited about it. I am really excited to see so many of your sweet faces on here. That just absolutely makes me so happy, because that also means that you're ready to really dive in and start investing in our business. Not start, but really invest in our businesses here, because for you to take time on a Friday night to be on a call really says a lot, especially at 9 o'clock in the evening for some of us. So thank you guys for being on the call. We are going to kind of, we bullet pointed some of the things we wanted to go over tonight. And the first thing we're going to start with is just all the awesomeness that's going on in our company right now. Obviously, we all know about MetaBurn, which there have been several posts I've seen today, Mega Burn. So for those who are having trouble remembering, the best way I've found to teach your team, your friends, whomever, and I'm trying to tell people as well, is meta, like metabolism, and then burn, because we want to burn off that fat. So if you can kind of try to remember it that way, it helps. I know Mega Burn seems so easy because we have already got a mega product, but it's meta. So I just want to make sure that we're finding ways, like little ways to help people, because I've seen it a lot today. But Andrea is going to share with us, because she's actually been using MetaBurn and has a really cool story about that. So she's going to share a little bit about the product, about her results. And I also posted on the team page, feel free to share on your team pages also the video that was done the other night right after the release of the product, after we launched it. There was an awesome video that several, including Andrea, Emily Gibson, Brooke Hemingway, Rachel Neagle, Becky Page, I'm probably forgetting someone, but they all shared, and I posted it, and it's incredibly packed full of knowledge on the product and breaking down ingredients in it. For those of us who are not green, ingredients are not our jam. They really help break it down and can kind of put it in a way that you can verbalize it to other people. So I want to encourage you to watch it if you haven't. So why don't you start with explaining to them a little bit about what you can share on MetaBurn and how amazing it's been for you. You're muted. That's okay. I did it too.
Yeah, very challenging. You're going to read lips. That's going to make this more interactive as y'all try to guess what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to read to you my actual testimony I wrote up the other day. I think it'll be better than me having to remember all the pieces. And I want to read you what I found about some of the ingredients and why I'm really excited. And I am going to tell you, I think I told some people this. I asked Rachel Neagle the other day, like, give me a couple of sentences. Like, here's my story. Give me a couple of sentences on why it's working so well for me, because that's what she does for me. And she goes, nope, go research it. Enter in every single ingredient and menopause or hormones or whatever and research it yourself. And she wasn't being mean. She was actually in the car. So she was like, hey, I can't really give you all the information, but second, like, go figure out some of this for yourself, because you will own it more if you figure it out for yourself. So I'm going to read you my testimonial and then what I found when I was researching. So here's my testimonial. You have 3 children and one has special needs. This is just how you're going to feel. I loved my doctor, but I was so frustrated by his words. However, when my friends were sharing a pink drink that they kept saying would help, I had my doubts. I was wrong. I get it. My pride in history with similar companies and products that claimed to help had jaded me, but I decided to just try it. At first, I thought it was placebo. I mean, I really should be feeling better. However, blood work doesn't lie, and when I had done a couple of months into starting my products, I was blown away. So many of the reasons I was feeling awful were adjusted. So I asked what else was in the Plexus line and had my interest piqued by a probiotic, magnesium supplement, and multivitamin. But it wasn't just for me. We had someone very special that needed these products too. We all saw crazy, amazing results from getting our guts healthy. For 5 years, we have gone through so many life changes, and we've amazed doctors all while sticking to our products. And in the middle of it all, I had an elective hysterectomy because of the continuing damage of endometriosis. I was 38 years old and found out that 6 months after surgery, my body was in full-blown menopause. When my doctor saw my blood work, she was amazed I was functioning. She said that the supplements that I was on were allowing me to live a normal life while my body had stopped certain functions. Menopause isn't for the faint of heart. And in the throes of writing down every single one of my symptoms for a new doctor, we were gifted with a trial of Metaburn. Immediately, I saw a difference. Energy without any jitters. My dopamine levels were finally where they should be, sleeping without it being interrupted and without feeling groggy in the morning. The waistband of my pants was feeling even better. Focused to get through the craziness of the Christmas season and do it successfully. Also, I had no idea that you could have so much food around and not snack on all of it. It has been an incredible addition to what I've been doing for 5 years. Thankful for a company that's always doing the next best thing. And here are some things that I've learned. L-tyrosine, which comes across, you'll see it as NALT. It's N-acetyl L-tyrosine on the ingredients. Boost your dopamine, specifically estrogen, which affects the release of neurotransmitters, serotonin and dopamine. This is a quote, "A deficiency in dopamine is responsible for increasing ADHD symptoms, while less serotonin leads to a depressed mood. That's why women feel so miserable during their menstrual cycles when estrogen levels dip." Here's another ingredient, green tea. This plant has been proven to be beneficial to human health, and green tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water. However, until now, the effect of green tea aqueous extract upon menopausal osteoporosis has remained unclear. In this study, we investigated the therapeutic effects of green tea extract on estrogen deficiency-induced osteoporosis and explored the possible mechanisms in vivo and in vitro. Those are the studies that they do. L-theanine is an amino acid found in green tea. It is the unique property of counteracting stimulating neurotransmitters in the brain, thus encouraging the state of calm and focus without being sedated. And this is what makes you feel kind of leveled out, but also what counteracts a lot of times when people have caffeine jitters. The L-theanine that they have in there actually keeps you calm without giving you the jitters. The rhodiola, which is probably one of the most impressive ingredients we have, is recommended for women suffering from symptoms of menopause. Particular women, this is her quote, "In the perimenopausal stage of life, they get a combination of things that change. With hormonal changes, they have a loss of energy, they get brain fog, they can't multitask well, their libido is down, and they get depressed. It's just while their careers are peaking. They're supposed to be at their best, and they go downhill." And the doctor that's following this says that patients have increased energy and mental clarity, and they feel sexier. So they're very happy customers on rhodiola. And those are just a few of the ingredients that I have researched. There's a video about the 20 benefits to grains of paradise, which I can't get through this weird man's like quirkiness to watch the video, but the video is linked on our team page. And I actually have it pulled up on YouTube on my computer to just watch. Y'all, the ingredients in this product are pretty impressive. Someone asked me today what the difference in this and Accelerator Plus is. And I'm just going to say it's the plant, it's almost like, a lot of people say like juicing is really good because you get all of the nutrients of the juice, but you're not having to eat tons and tons and tons of greens. That's kind of what I think of with this product. It's almost like there's no way you could consume how much you need of each one of these products. They took the most concentrated form of all the extracts and they put it in this little capsule, and it's about the size of the new X Factor capsule. So if you've seen, like, it's a bigger capsule. I can swallow 2 of them at one time, so it's not a huge deal for me. And I have no idea what it will taste like if you try to open it up and put it in something, if you don't like swallowing capsules. But I'm so impressed. So I took a picture this morning of my waist. It's just flatter. Like, I don't know how to, it's almost like someone kind of got, like, when you put Spanx on and you just kind of feel like all tucked in a little bit, like that's how I feel like my waist looks right now. I haven't lost a mass amount of weight. I've lost about 1.5 pounds since I've been on it. But if you've watched the video that Sarah alluded to earlier, Becky Page said something that's so visual to me. She said that fat is like cotton candy. It doesn't weigh a lot, but it takes up a lot of room. So if you think about like a cotton candy on a stick, like it's this, but if you melt it down, it's hardly anything. And and it doesn't weigh anything. You get tons of it. It weighs, appropriately because it does have sugar in it, but it's not it's not a mass amount of weight. And she said, your fat will start to melt like cotton candy before you'll see a change in the scale. So I have committed to certain pairs of pants that I want to put on and see how they fit better as I go through this process. Because to me, if I'm not going to see a big change in the scale, I'd like to see a big change in what I'm able to wear. Not so much size wise, just because sizes are so fluctuating, but there are certain pants in my closet I'd like to be able to wear, or shorts I'd like to be able to wear this spring and this summer. And those are my goals. My goals are probably more geared towards maybe a May, June thing, rather than I'm going to lose 20 pounds by Valentine's Day. Not my goal. I just don't think it's a healthy goal. I think my healthy goal should be, I'd love to be in these, shorts I bought, 5 years ago at J. Crew. I'd love to be in those shorts this summer. And so those are the kind of goals that I have, achievable goals, and goals that I can kind of hang in my closet. And every time I go in my closet, I'm like, those shorts. Okay, well, that's what we're working towards. Kind of you wake up in the morning, instead of a picture of me in a bathing suit on the fridge, I'm going to put a picture of those shorts everywhere in my house. It's a little more, I just feel achievable, So I love MetaBurn. I've been taking 2 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. It's not the recommended dose. The recommended dose is 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. But we were noticing that a lot of people were accidentally skipping their second one just because they were forgetting or they were out of the house or whatever. And so they were like, dang it, I forgot to take my second dose, like over and over again. So we're like, what if we take 2 in the morning? How will we feel? A lot of us felt great. I am not super sensitive to caffeine. So I could take a dose at 3 or 4 in the afternoon when I have an empty tummy again, and it doesn't faze me. I could lay my head on my pillow right now and go to sleep, but I could also sit up and talk to y'all for another 45 minutes without a problem. So you kind of see how there's I have energy, but the second my head hits the pillow, I can be out. I'll sleep great. And I woke up this morning at 6:45 without an alarm clock, popped out of bed and got going for our day. Not really my norm. So do y'all have any questions? I can answer. How about this? I can take any question. I don't know that I can necessarily answer any question, but I'm willing to answer whatever I know, and I'm willing to tell you where to go look for the answer if I may have a route for you.
Hey, A, let's start with the big question that so many have asked. Should and can this be taken by itself with none of the other products?
So the biggest, can it? Yes. All of our products can be taken by themselves. Nothing is activated by anything else. So it's not like you swallow it and it's not activated until you take your hunger control or your XOS or your original Slim. There's nothing that activates this product, but nobody on the trial of it, none of the Diamonds or Super Saturday trainers that have been on this or the products board, we're taking it without Slim. So any of the results that you're seeing, any of my results that I'm telling you about, anything that Becky and Rach and Emily and Brooke and Susie McCall and Chris McCall that were on the call the other night, any of the results that you're hearing, none of those people were MetaBurn only. There is one gentleman at corporate that was taking MetaBurn primarily because he is a slacker and taking his products. And I called him today and said, stop telling people you're not taking anything else. He goes, well, I give it all to my wife because they get a triplex as employees once a month. He goes, I give it to my wife because she's more consistent on it. And I said, will you do me a favor? Will you just be more consistent with your Slim for the next 60 days? And let's see how much more you could do. He goes, yeah. He goes, and just tell them, I'm a guy. If I just stop putting creamer in my coffee, I lose 10 pounds. It's just a natural, guys lose weight faster than girls do. Just, have y'all seen the funny thing where it's the guy essentially stops putting creamer in his coffee, in Jesse's analogy, and loses 10 pounds, and the wife starts working out, only eats grass, all these crazy things. She's and gained 1 pound. It's it's just a boy girl, hormonal thing. My husband can stop drinking soda for a month or stop eating a handful of M&Ms daily and loses tons of weight. And I go, all out, and I'm running and I'm doing all these things. I'm going to bar class every day and I just can't get the scale to move. So I would not compare to one person that's a male only taking Metaburn. I would say every other single person that I have heard of a story from is taking at least Slim, but I would say all of the diamonds are taking Triplex and most are taking Ease. So I would say most are doing Triplex and Ease. Probably about half of them are still doing a lean shake for 1 meal a day. So they're adding this to their toolbox. They're not throwing out the whole toolbox and just using a magic tool. If someone says, I just want to try Metaburn, I would caution you to tell them that is fine. You are welcome to use just that. Just don't expect any of the results that you're seeing to happen in a timely manner. I would say any results that like I would post in a testimonial, expect that to take twice as long. So fine, you can take just Metaburn, but just know you'll probably have to take it for 2 months to get nearly the same results that they're taking, but they're also taking anti-inflammatories and they're also taking probiotics, and they're also pooping every single day because they take a magnesium supplement. So just know these things going in. And if you still want to use just Metaburn, more power to you. I want to be able to check in with you every week and see how you're feeling and how you're doing. And I really don't want you to get discouraged if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, because it's a toolbox. It's not a single magical tool. Imagine building a house. You can't build a house with just a hammer. It could be a great hammer. It could be a multi-use hammer. It could be a hammer that has a screwdriver on the end. You're still going to be missing some tools. And so y'all, it's a gateway drug. What if they get in and all they buy is Metaburn this month, and next month they buy Slim, and the month after that they buy ProBio 5? Great. Get them to just get something this month. Also, make sure they're buying it from your website and you're not just selling it to them for cash and carry, because it's just silly for you to sell it and most people want it at your price, and then what's the point? So I would at least, if they're gonna buy just one product, make sure they're buying it from your website. Okay, that's all I had to say about that.
Does anybody else have any questions about Metaburn? If you do, you can also comment it in the chats, and I'm watching the chat so we can come back to it. We'll go to the next bullet point that I have written down, which is talking about the $1.99 packets. So $1.99 welcome packs. I call it a packet. I don't know why, but let's talk about this for just a minute. And Andrea and I were kind of brainstorming this also, because what we're trying to do is kind of put our mindset back into where we were 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, we both joined the company. She joined at the end of November. I joined in the first 2 days of December. So I was like, okay, 5 years ago, what was different? Well, besides everything. And we have like an incredibly new product line that is just off the charts. Like, holy cow, I can't even imagine what I would have done with this 5 years ago. But we were kind of talking about it. And one thing that I was telling her, I would love to see us start to train our new ambassadors and retrain our current ambassadors as well as ourselves, is the $1.99 welcome packs. I really want us to find a way to put that in the forefront of our mind as this is our welcome pack. Not really having the 99 as the forefront or as the foot in the door, but keeping that as your fallback instead of your first foot. So let that catch you instead of be how you step into the conversation. And here's why. One reason is we have huge, amazing benefits for you when you sign somebody up with a $1.99 welcome pack. Let's be honest. That's incredible for you as an ambassador. But the thing is for them, put them in the forefront of your mind when you're talking about a $1.99 packet. They are going to get the best bang for their buck buying a $1.99 packet. They're going to probably get products that they would not have otherwise gotten to try, and they can try a few more things. So Brooke Hemingway did a training call on this quite a while back that has stuck in my head. If we want to set people up for the most success out the gate, we want to give them the products they need in their tool belt out the gate. So if I went to my doctor and said, hey, I'm having this symptom, this symptom and this symptom and this symptom, and he was like, well, let's just start with this. Well, that might treat one symptom, but I've still got 10 others going on. Or if I go in with the flu and all he treats is my headache, I still have the fever. I still have the aches and pains. If we go in and we start treating everything at one time and just hit it all, and then I feel amazing, then I'm like, hold the phone. Let me tell you what I've been doing because I feel amazing. If all you're getting rid of my headache, then I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I mean, my headache's gone, but man, I'm still achy. I'm still tired. And that may not, analogies are not my jam, but just roll with me here. Okay. That's the one that I keep thinking of. I'm like, if I went into my doctor and something was wrong and they treated a symptom, or I started feeling better in one area, but I was still feeling other things, I'm not going to be real prone to sharing that. Where another option is if you go in for a facial and you've got like this massive breakout and you've got dry patch, splotchy skin, and you've got some rosacea, let's just say you've got all these things going on. Clearly this is not a compliant video. And you go in and they treat the red spots, but you walk out and you still have the acne and you still have this. You're not going to be like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to go to this lady and get your facial done. Right? But if you walk out and your skin is looking like you got a filter on after you've been looking like rough something walking around, you're going to scream at the top of your lungs, people, you've got to go see this chick or this whoever and get a facial. So the reason that I'm saying that is because we tend to put people, we introduce them to a product or a couple of products, especially when they're coming in as an ambassador, to get them in and to kind of be their gateway. But really, if we can get them in on everything that they really need to be on out the gate, they're going to probably have more success. Is that always the case? No, it's not always the case. Are they going to love every single product all the time? No, that's not the case either. I don't use every product, and I have no problem saying that. I am very honest with people when I have people join, when I'm talking to potentials, when I'm talking to customers. I tell them what I do and don't take. I don't take a lot of the weight loss products. I do use lean and I use the vegetarian. I cannot use lean whey. So I'm really upfront with people when they ask me, have I tried it? Yes. Do I like the flavors? Absolutely. Is it dairy and it bothers me? Absolutely. I cannot drink it. That's not the case. There are people who are dairy intolerant that can drink it fine. So everybody's body is different. Everybody's going to adjust to things differently. Some people love ease. There are some of us that take ease and have to choke those bad boys down because it's not the greatest flavor in the world. Let's be honest, for those who have taken it, but it does amazing things to your body. So you're just kind of like, I suck it up and I take it. So I think if you can get around some of that, I don't take this, so I'm not going to promote it to other people aspect, and I don't want to overwhelm them, so I don't want to give them this huge welcome pack out the gate. If you can think about it and put yourself in their position, if you could get these amazing products and a lot of them for a lot less than you would otherwise, would you want someone to lead with that, or the cheapest way in, but you don't really get to try everything? So that's kind of how I've been in a mindset lately, talking to people. I just don't talk about the 99 welcome packs. It's just not something I talk about. I just lead with the 199s. And a lot of people are like, oh, okay, that's still not bad, because in their heads, that's still a lot less expensive than most network marketing companies are to get in. I mean, the $34.95 a year plus the welcome packs, the $199 is still $250, and that's a lot less than I think I don't know of any others that are that inexpensive that I'm aware of, and I've done a lot of research on network marketing. So I think if we can train our own brains first and foremost, and then train our teams to do the same, especially new. And if someone signs up with a $199 welcome pack, the likelihood is when they sign someone up, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to sign them up with a $199 welcome pack. Just like when we sign up and we put our subscription on, the likelihood is that's what we're going to coach people and teach them to do, as well as to start with setting up their subscription order. Do you have any input on that?
Yeah, I'd say a couple of things. One, on the XOS is, I'm curious for y'all that have them starting on XOS, and that's why they're not starting up with the $199 welcome pack. Why are you starting them on XOS? Like, why? Here comes Tina. Why that product? I'm kind of curious. I have an autoimmune disorder with Hashimoto's, and so XOS and I don't get along very well. I actually stuck to original most of the year that we had the XOS come out. I have lots of bags of original. I bought them out. And Hunger Control is my new friend, and we get along very well. with the weight loss aspect of the products, I'm curious why not starting people on hunger control unless you absolutely think they need to be on the prebiotic XOS, which I would understand. And then my second thing would be my very favorite welcome pack is the Triplex Lean Joyome welcome pack. It's almost a 50% discount, and you can add a bottle of MetaBurn to that for the $34.95 of the ambassador price. And to me, you're going to get the best of every single thing. If you want to add block to it, you can. They're really saying to combine lean hunger control. Anyways, I think that the best way to start would be that Triplex Lean Joyome welcome pack, because you really do get the best of everything for the very cheapest price. And then adding MetaBurn to that, I think is actually a better price than the MetaBurn Block Slim Lean welcome pack they came out with, just for price wise. So if you're going to give them the best bang for their buck, I mean, you really are almost getting 50% off. And then right now with the $10 off of the sign up, y'all signing up, the $34.95 should never be an issue. Right now, because it's $10 a year, it's 83 cents a month. I think I figured it out. It's less than 3 cents a day to be a member with Plexus. Like, it's kind of crazy not to do it. And a $1.99 welcome pack is less than $7. So you're a day for the month. So you're essentially getting Slim, Lean, Joyome, MetaBurn, Slim, Triplex. How about this? Triplex, Lean, MetaBurn, Joyome, and an annual membership for less than $7 a day. Like, it's insane. If you think about that, like, you can't go to Whataburger for that. You can't you can't get a meal at a drive-through for that anymore. Remember when drive-through meals used to be $5? Like, you could take a $5 bill and go you can't do that anymore. It's like $11 for like a value meal. I have small children. We drive through a lot. I mean, even if we're talking a salad at Chick-fil-A, it's not gonna, it's still expensive. And so I think if you could just replace one meal a day with lean, you're essentially replacing one meal. So you're not spending that $7 and you're getting all of this other stuff that's making what you're actually eating so much healthier. So, okay. Tina says her daughter has Crohn's, is better on XOS. Also, XOS has the prebiotics, and not all the fiber and HT. So I would just say, find out what their expectations are. And it's not perfect right now. Just so y'all know, there's an IT issue with they have not figured out a way in the IT department that we can make options. And at some point, the expectation is that you can do a pull down and pick XOS or hunger control, that you could pull down and pick which flavors of lean you want. We're just not there right now. And MetaBurn was not supposed to come out until Super Saturday, just so y'all know. We didn't know it was coming out this week until, Monday. So when y'all all found out on Tuesday, we all found out on Monday that it was coming out now instead of Super Saturday. So it wasn't supposed to be out for another month. So they were supposed to have a whole nother month to work on SKUs and welcome packs and everything. So what we have right now is incredible, because we pretty much said you can't have a weight loss product come out 2 weeks after the first of the new year. Like, you have to have weight loss products, and you can't do it after Christmas because they won't get it in time. So you have to do it the week before Christmas, which is why we all kind of feel a little crazy right now, is because they're launching something, and I don't know, Christmas is Tuesday. So it feels a little crazy, but this is something we'll get into in a minute too. But y'all, Sarah and I launched our entire businesses in December. We literally went silver and then the next month gold because of December. Yes, it's Christmas, and yes, it's crazy, and yes, you're out shopping and you're at Christmas parties, and I've got 3 tomorrow. I mean, you've got all the things going on, but it's also when you're seeing the most people. Do you have another month where you see more random people than you do the month of December? You see all the church people. You see all the moms at school that never show up for any of the field trips or never can go to any of the class parties or never show up for anything except for the Christmas concert. You see all the relatives you really avoid all year long, and they show up on Christmas, except mine. Mine are not showing up this Christmas. You see all the neighbors. I've had 10 neighbors come to my house tonight to drop off gifts for this thing tomorrow. People that have never been to my house before. It's conversations I've never had. I'm having with people just because it's December, just because it's Christmas, and there's, hey, who's bringing the socks for tomorrow or the hot chocolate or whatever for the Christmas party. Do y'all see how December is really like your launching month? Like you really could launch this insanely. I mean, I had a lady the other day that I was like, we were talking about a cinnamon roll breakfast that we both went to, and she messaged and she was finally like, oh, and after the first of the year, I want to talk to you about that thing that you do. Like, but it had to be us having a conversation about something different for her to feel comfortable to finally say, oh yeah, and I want to ask you about Plexus. We've never had a conversation before. We just ran into each other at a cinnamon roll breakfast last Saturday that I did not want to go to because it was in the middle of everything else. But I knew it was moms I hadn't met yet because I'm new to the neighborhood. It was moms I hadn't really met yet. It's a big deal in the neighborhood that go to this cinnamon roll breakfast. It's at 9 a.m. And I bought 2 blankets from a girl because I wanted to have contact with, be able to contact her afterwards. And so now she has my contact information, and her mom has messaged me about Plexus. And I wanted to buy earrings from someone that I've been trying to get her to accept my friend request on Facebook for a year and a half. She didn't do it until I bought earrings from her at this party. And y'all, they were $4 earrings that were for a charity. So yes, I will do that. And yes, now she's my friend on Facebook. I will pay for friends on Facebook. I'm not above it.
Hey, I was going to say really quick, in addition to that too, a lot of what Andrea is saying, Andrea and I have talked about with me. And so I used to call myself an introvert, but I'm actually not an introvert, and I'm not antisocial. I'm just a homebody. So I like to be at home. I like to be with my kid. Well, I like to be with my kids. I just like to be at home. Like that's my jam. As you guys saw, I posted on on our team page tonight, we're moving. So I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now with the fact that I'm literally selling my house and moving in a matter of months. With that being said, Andrea challenged me when I told her she's known a lot longer that I'm moving. She was challenging me to really start building relationships. That is not my jam. I have friends, and they are my legit friends. They are people who I do life, share life, talk about life with, or I don't, and they bother me to talk to them about it. They're like my family because I don't have a lot of it. And what I do have, they become family to me. And so when I don't tell them stuff, I'm probably not telling my family either. Just that's me. That's my nature. And my sister's rolling her eyes, and Teal probably is too. I'm not really good about communicating, even with the people who I love the most in life. That's me. So my thing was, what was different in that December that has changed to 5 years later? And I'm going to tell you the hardcore truth. It's fear. It is fear of opinion. It is fear of rejection. It is fear of judgment. It is fear of being compared to every other network marketing company out there now. We didn't have a lot, not that they weren't there, but we didn't have as much of that. And I had no fear. I was like, oh, we're going to rock this. And Andrea and I took it off. We were not like, when she called me, it was like, you're my first ambassador. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what that means, but let's just work the business. And she's like, yeah. And so we kind of got competitive with each other in like a healthy way. And we were pushing each other. And let me tell you, there were no resources that we have now. So whatever you think, like, I'm not even really sure Google was a big thing then. So we really didn't Google things either. Like we would like look them up, but Google wasn't a big thing even then. So we were literally, I think I remember one day I called customer service. I think it was 22 times in one day. And I was like, can you tell me this? And can you tell me this? And you can tell. And I would message Roz, and Roz was like, girl, I'm at work. I'm like, okay, calling customer service again. I'd call Andrea, and she's like, I don't know. I've been doing this almost the same amount of time as you. Okay, let's call customer service. And when we would call, we would tell each other what answers we would get because we were learning together. And I think what we tend to do is fall back on, okay, well, everything is out there. But Andrea said something really smart in a thread, and she tends to be very, here it is, and I tend to not always receive things well, and I'm like, oh, that kind of hurts my feelings. But she said it in love, and I received it well. So here's what she told me that I want to encourage you guys. Do the work yourself because your team is also watching you. So I did post Rachel Niegel's video, but I also followed up and looked all that stuff up. When I go into a doctor's office and they're like, here, take this, the first thing that I do from a MD is I go Google everything they just told me to do. I go Google it. I Google side effects. I Google what it can be taken with. I Google what it can interfere with. I Google the heck out of anything, and then I normally don't take it. But here's the reason is because I do my research and I get so much information on the ingredients in it that I'm like, slow down. If I were getting good information and hearing the same things that Rachel Niegel was saying, and I was retaining that information and sharing it, first of all, I'm going to look smart. Let's just start with that. When Andrea was like reading her testimony a minute ago, I was like, she knows these words. Like, this is pretty awesome. And it's because you do the research and you retain part of it, but you share part of it too. And then your team is like, oh, wow, there's a lot there. Half of these words we don't know. XOS, I still can't say the actual word for that, but I can tell you a lot about XOS because I've done a lot of research. That being said, I'm sitting here watching what Tina's saying about XOS and the prebiotic. I have this seriously sensitive GI system. Let me just tell you, XOS was not kind to my system. HC was a lot less kind of my system, but only for a short time. Once my body adapted, because I did a lot of research on the prebiotic fiber and how much fiber I was intaking, I researched it and I was like, okay, here's what I need to do. And it worked. And now I can take HC and I don't have upset stomach. The fiber doesn't bother me because I've done research to figure that out. So I think that one of the things that we need to do is do a lot of research and share that research with our teams. So that's one thing that we did differently 5 years ago than we are now. And fear is our worst enemy in this business because and I'm going to tell you, I think this is true. Megan and Andrea, y'all can nod your heads on this. I think the further up in the company you get, the more your fear comes with it because you have higher expectation. More people are watching you. More people are judging you. More people are saying, oh, well, you're in the top of the company, so you certainly know everything. That is not true.
I think it's more, you know more. So the longer you're in anything, the more, like, as a parent, the more kids you have, the more you're like, crap, this could really go bad. Where the first kid, Ella was my first kid. We're in the NICU. I'm like, I don't really know what that means, but okay, now I have a kid in the NICU and I think of everything that could go wrong. And just the more you know, the more you fear. So I think so the more I know, the more, not from a Jewel standpoint, but just 5 years in, we've just seen so much. So the second something happens, we're like, how's this going to go? Like, but you also have a little bit of, kids jumping on the couch, hope they don't hurt themselves. Like, so there's a little bit of like, I know so much that I can be fearful of a lot of things, or I know that so much isn't going to hurt me that when people are freaking out and screaming that the sky is falling, I'm like, the sky is not falling. We have gone through worse. We've broken arms. We're fine. We've survived the NICU. We can survive anything, which is kind of how I feel about back office. So the other thing I want to say is the biggest difference, I think, in the beginning is testimonials. If I could tell you one thing I did in the beginning that I'm actually kind of excited about right now, it's I shared every single person's testimonial, and I loaded 4 or 5, I think, to the team page for tonight, and they were going to go out once an hour, and they start again tomorrow morning at a little before 7 a.m. Central Time, and they'll go out until afternoon, once an hour. It's a picture, and a testimonial of a meta burn. And I would really encourage you not to put them all on your team page day one, but find one that you connect with or that you think your audience will connect with, one that you could hashtag on Instagram or put on Facebook, however you want to do it. Break it down and put it on an Instagram story and share a testimonial every single day. If you go an entire day for the rest of this month without sharing somebody's testimony, you're doing your business a disservice, because there's enough out there. You could go through the end of the month and share a testimony every day. And Sarah signed up as my ambassador on somebody else's testimony. She knew I was taking it. She knew I was giving it to Ella, which is great. But when she saw that, yes, share on your personal pages. Yeah, you can share on your team too, but the point is to share with your prospects, because someone else. So Sarah saw a testimony of someone talking about gut health and anxiety that I posted. I have no idea who the person was. I still don't know who the person is whose testimony I shared. But I just thought, oh, this is a neat testimony. It's not my story, but it's someone else's story. And I shared it, and Sarah, y'all, signed up without even messaging me. She just signed up. So I'm not saying that happens to everyone. I will say I'm putting my website in the body, at the bottom of a lot of the posts now, and in the first comment. For a long time, we got away from that. I think they told us it was non-compliant. Don't really care. I'm putting my website in there because if someone wants to go in and just buy MetaBurn, but they don't want to message me or they don't want to try to get sold something or upsold or whatever, dude, go in and buy just whatever you want. I don't care. Here's my website. And so I'm making sure it's on those testimonial ones, the ones that really are about our products. They're not just the stories. They're not just my life that I'm kind of dropping. And I just think the more you share your daily life plus Plexus every day, people are more likely to read your Plexus stuff because they're willing to scroll past or stop, maybe take a gander at the Plexus stuff because you're sharing everything else too. So never stop sharing your own personal stuff, funny stuff, stupid pictures, Christmas party pics and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, I never in the beginning wondered whether my pictures were engaging or traffic worthy or how many likes or comments I got on anything. I just shared my life and I dropped in Plexus to all of that. If you are not doing that and getting comfortable with that over the next couple of weeks, it's going to be harder to do that starting in January. You might as well start getting used to it now while someone's loading all the testimonials for you. And so I would really challenge you every day to find a testimony on my page, Sarah's page, Roz's page, Destination Diamond. I mean, you have so much. It's interesting. Something Sarah said earlier kind of made me laugh is that Sarah and I would call Roz, but neither one of us ever called Celeste. And I mean, in 5 years and even, knowing Celeste fairly well, I never called Celeste and said, hey, can you help me out with this question or this problem or anything? The access that y'all have to so many layers of leadership, the videos that y'all have access to, the conglomerations that different teams do. Is that the right word? Conglomeration?
Works for me.
Partnerships that different teams do together I didn't even know other teams existed outside of Celeste and Jen's team, except for Sonia, Helen, and Sarah Marble. Those are the only people we even knew existed outside of Celeste and Jenny's team. Now there's so many people that we can draw wisdom from. And I would keep pulling as much wisdom as you can. But if you pull it all into yourself and you don't share it with your network, if you're not growing your network every day and you're not sharing new knowledge with your network every day, then you're missing a huge chunk of possibility with your business. Megan and I have been talking, and she's been sharing a lot in group pages that she's in and with a bunch of people. And I think one of the greatest motivators and momentum makers that I've seen with Megan is just going, I'm going to share. I'm just going to hit send. She messaged me, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? She's like, I just messaged a dream teamer. I'm so terrified, but I hit send. I did it. I think it goes back to what Sarah was saying. It's that fear. I'm going to get over myself. Because 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I would have just messaged because, oh, this is what you do. I'm just telling you about this. And now all of a sudden we know so much that it's like, go bad because I've seen it go bad. So I just want to encourage you. MetaBurn's amazing. It's not the end all be all. Some people will not even take it. I've watched a lot of triplex welcome packs go through this week with no MetaBurn attached to them. So it's just getting some conversations started. It's getting comfort, a new comfort zone of being able to at least contact them for a new product. $199 welcome packs are insane. If you aren't at least offering people the triplex, Joyome, Lean welcome pack, you're doing them a disservice on cost. I would say posting testimonials, hitting send on things, even when you're fearful. There's a magic message. There's no magic message, just like there's no magic pill. I did everything wrong in the beginning and I grew a great team. I said all the wrong things. I probably sent all the wrong messages. I probably sent the stupidest videos. I probably sent the worst attachments. I did all the wrong things, but I did it more. I did it more than I do it now. So I would say my numbers are better because I did it more. So if you're sending out a ton of messages, y'all, my posts were awful, but y'all, I made like 5 posts a day, which is also awful. Like, and the graphics were disgusting. Like if I look back, I'm like, oh, that's the ugliest graphic I've ever seen. Glad I posted that every day for a solid week. But y'all, people were like messaging me going, what in the world are you doing? And then I started those conversations and I loved people well. And I still love people well. It's not about doing it right. It's about doing it. And so if I could leave you with anything, it would be, if you take nothing else from this call, you don't have to know all the things. Do not wait to research MetaBurn before you post about it. Post about it. And in the process of people asking you questions, you will research it. Please don't wait till you know more. Because golly, y'all, if I waited till I understood ProBio 5, I'd still be a silver. I still would have no idea what I was doing. If I waited to know the pricing of anything or how the comp plan worked, I'd still be waiting. Even at this level, I don't know everything. I just know where to go find the answers. So as long as you know where to go find the answers, you'll have so many leaders to ask questions to. Can y'all think of anything that we've missed? Anything that you want to know? Sarah has something.
Well, we had 2 more things that I wanted to just mention really quick before we hop off the call. One is if you or people on your team have not already, register for Super Saturday. So important. And the cool thing about Super Saturday, it's recorded. So if you register and you can't watch it live, you can go back and watch it. But register for it. There's if we learned nothing else last year, it's register for the live because you want what comes along with that.
There's good stuff this year. I already know what it is.
Yeah, and you want your teams to be able to have access to that. So we're doing them a disservice. Like I've even messaged people who haven't been, I told Andrea, for those of you who were on here earlier, I messaged out to all of my level 1s and even some level 2s of level 1s that are inactive. Anyone who's been inactive in my level 1 through 3s and they're under inactive people, I messaged them. I messaged them about MetaBurn and I messaged them about Super Saturday. And I've got an email ready to go for Slim Down. I'm not sending that yet to not overwhelm people, but I am sending them the emails with the information that I have because why not? The worst case is they'll ignore me, which they're doing anyway. So if I get 1 or 2 of them that actually acknowledges it and wants to partake, hallelujah. So I would highly encourage that. Especially new ambassadors that you're signing up right now, go ahead and get them to pay the $19.99 and get on the live Super Saturday. The other thing that is super huge right now, and we've never in my 5 years ever had access to the credits this early in the game, is convention. So people are constantly saying, oh, I only had so many months. Well, guess what? They gave us an extra week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever, to earn convention credits from we still have the same amount of time plus a little bit extra. And I've posted on the team page, most of the leaders have posted on their team pages, the credits, how you earn them, as well as what the prizes are. And convention is coming in. It's actually different this year because normally it's like right at school let out, but this year it's June 18th through the 21st. So it's really towards the end of June. So it gives a little bit more flexibility to people who have teachers on their teams and things like that. So post the dates. But I would encourage you to start planning. I've been messaging with people. Hey, are you planning? Here's how to go ahead and put, well, it's really expensive. It was expensive last year. Okay, cool. Well, we have so many months to plan it out. And so let's budget it. We don't know where it is quite yet, but we can go ahead and start planning for it. So, you know, what I did with my girls was just kind of look at where it's been in the last 5 years, looked at airfare and kind of did an average of what the airfares have run and said, okay, let's just budget this for a hotel, and let's just go with it. There's no harm in starting to earn credits, because if you can earn it, if you start earning some of the prizes, I mean, there's cash prizes, there's vouchers to the store, there's gala, there's winner's dinner, there's all kinds of fun stuff. But if you can go ahead and encourage people to start earning the credits, they'll probably be more excited when it's announced at Super Saturday if they're already earning credits towards it as well. I know if I have credit, well, I do, but when I have credits and they announce it, I'm like, woohoo, now I'm going for this because I'm super excited about convention. So convention is huge, 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 huge. And we want as many people on our team there, if for nothing else, than the amazing training that is going to be there. So I would just highly encourage you to start talking about it, start posting about it, posting the information, encouraging people to start earning their credits now and start earning them yourselves as well. And if you have not already yourself looked at how to earn them, it is different this year. We are hyper focused, as I keep saying to my team, hyper focused on growth. You cannot earn as many credits as you have in the past on PV. And the cool thing about that is that it's going to earn you more credits to grow right now and add people to your team and help them grow their teams. But the best part about that is there's longevity to it. So you do that now and you earn these awesome things for convention, but then guess what? When convention is done and over, you have growth for your team to continue to grow and you to continue to have a business and not stop just at convention. So I just want to encourage you guys strongly, if you are not already fighting for those convention credits, go for it. It is all in. It's already started. The race is on, and the only person you're competing with is yourself. There's nothing else to compete with. I mean, the sky is the limit on what you want to earn and what you can earn based on the work that you want to put into it.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. Is everybody like, what do you want to win? Do you want to win winner's dinner, 700 cash, black tie gala, $2,000 cash? I don't know what the top prize is. Really like to know. If anybody knows, I'd love to hear, but they haven't told us yet. Angie wants 700 cash. Can we all just for a second pause and maybe rubbing Isabel's head right now, like as she like falls asleep, like she's like having a little puppy like in your lap, like you're just like petting her, and she's just like, she's like the sweetest little thing. I'm so curious. Angie wants $700 cash. Angie, I think you need to go for the black tie gala. There's only a 550 credit difference between cash and gala. I don't think you need to stop. Kim wants winner's dinner.
I was going to say the same thing, Angie, considering you earned a cruise.
Mama wants a big check. Yeah, she does. I love that, Megan. Y'all, I love the black tie gala is so much more fun than winner's dinner to me, that if you can shoot for the gala, like, you got some time. Think about it. You got a whole half a month ahead of what you usually had. And we have all of January, February, March, and April. You get credit for signing up for Slim Down. You get credit for finishing Slim Down. You get credit for level 1s through 5 ambassadors. You get credit for 1 through 5 levels of customers. You get credit for silvers, I think 3 levels. Let's see. What'd you say?
For ranking up.
Yeah, I feel like everything that we're doing is what Sarah said. It's legacy growth that we're doing this year. We're not doing it like, can you get it all in at the last second? We're doing it like, is everything you do now going to be, is going to grow you to leaders retreat credits, and is it going to grow you to the next rank? Is it going to grow you to residual income? Last 3 events have been in Florida. I have noticed that. I'm kind of hoping. Here are the places I'm hoping for: Southern California, Nashville, or somewhere we've never been before. I kind of think like Chicago or somewhere like that might be kind of fun, like somewhere we've never really tapped into before. I hope it's not back in Dallas, and I hope it's not in Florida. But I would go Nashville. Chicago's the only place central I would probably go. I have thought about Colorado. I did think Denver would be kind of cool, especially in June. Like, how great would that weather be? Minnesota could probably take us, although not super fun, except for the Mall of America. Denver's Gaylord just opened. I would think Gaylord would be more leaders retreat. Nashville will be a flash. Oh, Chicago's scary. I've never been to Chicago. It's funny. I'm like, I want to go places I want to go. I think Anaheim, California could handle us. I kind of thought that might be fun.
We have to think large. Like when we're thinking, we have to think large scale, because this is like arena type size. Not.
I think anyone that has a major sporting team could handle. Right? I mean, if you have
but just because they have a major sporting team, it doesn't mean it would be like super